Welcome back. This is update 0.94. I am releasing 0.94 early this week. The reason is because I'm leaving this Friday for a long Christmas trip. Christmas and New Year. I'll be back next year, so I won't have any update for the next 2 weeks. I just wanted to push one up for you guys early. So there are three major changes. First change is I removed the video capture feature. So if you go to camera control, there used to be an export video function here. This function was causing the whole entire game to slow down, and so after removing this feature, the whole entire tool sped up by 50%, which is a great performance. And I don't think this feature was good enough anyway, so I'll figure out what to do with this in the future. Hopefully for those of you with slower PCs, this tool will run even faster now without this feature here. Second piece is I added a indoor lighting. Derek from Hong Kong wanted indoor lighting for his stages. So now if you go over to change sky, you have the option to do indoor settings. So whatever settings you set here will override all of these dynamic sky settings. So for instance, if I choose bright, so now you have a bright kind of HDR, all of these settings are turned off. And so this is the really bright ones like this. So if I drop a few props here, let's take a look. Or you can also choose the warehouse one that is a little bit dimmer and darker. So it's up to you. Right now I only have 2 indoor lighting, so let me know if you want more. I can add more here. The third biggest change I made is an ability for you to load custom ScannedBays. You know how you go here and you can select enable ScannedBays. Now you can do custom ones. So now what you do is you go over to your Steam install folder. This is perhaps not the right location for you. So look for Steam apps. I believe it's under Steam apps common, under Practisim Designer. You would see a folder that looks something like this, and inside you see binaries, content, and saved. Go under content, you see a folder called ScannedBays. If you double click on this, we have instructions for you on how to install it, and then this file called ScannedBays.json, right? And so if you open this, basically provide instructions on how do you scan your bay, how do you process the ScannedBays, how do you export it, and then where do you place the GLB file. And then once you place the GLB file, you need to edit the JSON file and add in this entry into the JSON file. I'll explain what those fields are. So for instance, if I double click on this, open with Notepad, this is how the JSON file looks like. It basically lists all the different ScannedBays available in the system. And what you do is go down to the bottom here and add in an entry. So for this demo, I added one called Looks Test Bay. The author is me. The ID is a unique ID that you want to put here, and the range name is Look. And I marked this as external. Don't touch all this, because if you do anything here, you will just not make it appear. Once that happens, so now back at the Practisim Designer tool, you hit escape, you go over to change bay, and then you'll see the option appear here. This is the range name, right? And once in there, you see Looks Test Bay. So now if I just enable ScannedBays, you see it will load up my bay, my GLB file. So there you go. So I know this is just a test bay. I just used a scan. I scan my garage and my car and garbage bins. But yeah, so you can actually load your own bays like this. So please bear in mind, a file like this is about 120 megabytes in size. Depending on how detailed your ScannedBays are, it can go up to 200-300 gigabytes in size. So make sure you process it correctly, and so that it doesn't have too much detail. Otherwise, it might slow down your machine tremendously. Yeah, so those are the big features for you. I hope you like it. Again, if you want to give feedback, just hit escape, go to settings, hit feedback, or join the Discord channel. The link to the Discord channel is in the YouTube description below. Otherwise, you all have a safe Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. I'll see you all next year.